Both myself and Dr. Fauci featured in conspiracy theories. Like one says that Dr. Fauci's trying to make money off of these vaccines.
One of the secrets that they've tried to keep hidden at NIH are these direct payments from the pharmaceutical industry, not only to the agency, but to hundreds, if not thousands, of scientists and officials within those agencies for royalty payments for the drugs that agency has partnered with the pharmaceutical company to develop and market. The agency has become a marketing arm for Big Pharma, and they don't want the American public to know that is the ultimate object of this terrible devolution. And, one of the big emblems of that devolution are these payments that are being made to Tony Fauci, to his deputies, to his PIs, and to his scientists. We sent FOIL requests, we made inquiries, and NIH just stonewalled us.
The NIH is in the process, in the midst, as you know, of awarding grants for research. And the idea that scientists may be benefiting financially from the work that they've done at NIH, that creates to me the appearance of a conflict of interest.
So we are following the Bayh-Dole Act when it comes to that.
So you're saying it's federal law that allows the NIH to do that?
That's correct.
Leaders of the organization have received royalty payments. I think, Dr. Fauci, you've said that you've donated your royalties to charities, is my understanding. What strikes me is you're in a position where you're saying certain drugs don't work. They don't like ivermectin because they aren't benefiting from that royalty, or they don't like hydroxychloroquine. If the agency is awarding who the beneficiary of the grant, who's doing the trial, and there are somehow finances involved, that there's a financial benefit that could be accrued if someone's patent or invention is considered valid. Do you not see that as a conflict?
Well, we came to understand that Fauci's financial records are buried deep in a government bunker, and they're so sensitive to the National Institutes of Health that they are defying the Freedom of Information Act. When we sued the National Institutes of Health on our Freedom of Information Act request for the Fauci financials, on discovery, we learned that the National Institutes of Health have declared war on transparency. They're past due on 633 Freedom of Information Act requests. They're being sued at least 35 times over those requests. On the production of third-party royalty payments, subject to our lawsuit, NIH provided top-line numbers, so we can estimate over the last decade just how much money flowed from third-party payers, think pharmaceutical companies, back to NIH and its scientists. And that's nearly $350 million over the course of that decade. And we can see the scientists' names. There's 1,800 scientists that received payments. Here's what we can't see. We can't see the payment amount to the individual scientist. It's been erased, it's been blacked out and redacted. We can't see the name of the third-party payer, think pharmaceutical company. That's been erased and redacted. And furthermore, they've redacted the patent number and the license number, so we don't know why the royalty is being paid. We don't know what the invention was.
That information has not been made public, and I think sooner rather than later, you should make that information public, because right now, I think the NIH has a credibility problem.
Since the start of the pandemic, I wrote 6 columns out of 92 in regard to Dr. Anthony Fauci. When I wrote 3 in succession, from December of 2021 through January of 2022, those were the last columns I ever wrote at Forbes. The National Institutes of Health, they came down hard on Forbes. Forbes came down hard on me. I told the truth, and Forbes terminated my column.
There are so many, countless witnesses who came out of that House of Fauci who speak to, all of a sudden I lost everything. All of a sudden I lost my job. Nobody would speak to me. I was blacklisted because of one quote I gave, one paper I wrote.
To call Dr. Fauci America's doctor is such an outrageous misnomer.